Hello everyone and welcome to the free live session of listening class. I am Dilpreet Kaur from IELTS Made Easy. I hope you guys are doing well and practicing a lot for your IELTS exam. If not, let's practice together. So before starting with the session, let me introduce you with the schedule. We have classes at two different times, one at 12 noon and one at 7 p.m. in the evening. At 12 noon, we have a reading and listening session. Reading we usually cover on Monday, Tuesday and Friday, whereas listening on Wednesday and Thursday. On the other hand, we have class at 7 p.m. in the evening. That is on writing, speaking. Writing we usually cover on Thursday, Friday, and speaking on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And in these free live sessions, we provide detailed explanation to each module, vocabulary improvement and doubt clarifications. So if you have any doubt related to listening, you can write in the chat box. I hope that I'll be able to solve your all doubts until the end of today's session. So welcome once again to the free live class of listening. Welcome everybody. Hello Rashid, Chandan, Farhan, Dilpreet, Preet, Karuna. If you are facing difficulties in reading, then you should join our sessions, one on Monday, Tuesday and Friday at 12 noon. Other than this, still you are not able to cope up, then you can join our paid online classes. Hello Uday, Jas, Palak, then we have Sukhdeep, Simran. Welcome everybody. We have classes at two times, one at 12 noon and one at 7 p.m. in the evening from Monday until Friday. Alright. Hi Kalyani, Ruth, Principal Singh, welcome everybody. Hello Anj. Okay, the students who are new to this channel, I recommend them to download the Telegram application. This is the symbol of the application. Yes, Shubhu, you have problem spellings because आपके spelling के spellings ही wrong है. Hi Ashu, Dheeraj, Chandan, then we have Shob again, and multiple choice questions we have covered previously but definitely will cover in the coming sessions, so stay tuned with us. For spelling mistakes, you can actually learn those spellings by writing it 5 or 10 times, like, okay. You can take all the difficult words which you feel your spell okay, if you feel them, if you're not able to learn them, write it 5 times, then definitely you can learn those spellings. Okay. Hello Tanveer. So download the application, that's IELTS capital underscore M capital AD small underscore E capital ASY small. You need to search for this name and join the channel for free study material related to reading, listening, writing and speaking. Other than this, do subscribe the YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notifications. Okay, and these are not recorded sessions, these are live streaming sessions. However, you can view them again in future if you like the video. So there is a like button below it, click it, it will be added to your liked videos and you can view it whenever you want. Okay. Welcome everybody once again to the free live session of listening class. The students who are facing a lot of difficulties, whether in it is reading or listening, writing and speaking, then don't waste your times. Join our personal classes because we have well curated sessions for one module also. You can go for 2 modules or for all the modules, right? So you need to WhatsApp on the number which is visible on the screen for the same. Alright, the number is visible on the screen. You can join our पर्सनल क्लासेस, दीज आर वन ऑन वन क्लासेस. यू नीड नॉट टू गो एनीवेयर, आपको कहीं जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, किसी ग्रुप में बांटने के पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. यू कैन लर्न एवरीथिंग इंडिविजुअली बिकॉज दिस इज इंडिविजुअल फोकस. सो वी प्रोवाइड ऑनलाइन क्लासेस कंफर्टेबली एज पर योर कन्वीनियंसी. सो कॉन्टैक्ट ऑन द नंबर विच इज विजिबल ऑन द स्क्रीन फॉर द सेम. Okay, so these are the things you need to note it down. Telegram channel and the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's start. So listening, that is same for both. Listening चाहे general की हो चाहे academic की हो, वो same आती है. Okay, you can find it on internet. Otherwise we have lots of videos available on our YouTube channel also, that's IELTS Made Easy. Go and search on that channel. Okay. So that's the listening score table. Let's move forward. So today we are going to cover listening part 4, that is complete the notes. So these are like fill-ups only, right? So you have to complete the notes, and these are one word only. That's the part 4. The speed is also higher as compared to part 1, 2 and 3. In these types of questions you have lectures and you have to find out the answers from their speakings. So they are not going to use the same word, they are going to use the synonyms of that. Okay, so we have part 4 in front of us, 31 to 40 questions. Complete the notes below. Write one word only. Okay, you have to write only one word for this. Means you cannot write more than one word. Okay, so we need to highlight the keywords first. One word only, the extinction of the dodo bird. This is the topic. So let's see what questions they are asking. So they're talking about the history first, right? For exam training, you need to focus on everything related to all the modules. You need to understand what is all about listening, reading, writing and speaking. No, it depends upon you. If you understand the things, then training is not difficult. Okay, I didn't understand your question moreover, right? So if it is better for you to please make it clear whether what are you asking for, what training you are asking for, right? If you see, if you want to crack your test in just single attempt, you need to go under some guidance. आपको guidance लेनी पड़ेगी, because you can clear your concepts. So instead of wasting your time, book your slots and WhatsApp on the number which is visible on the screen. Okay, 1507, Portuguese ships transporting dash stopped at the island to collect food and water. Okay, so they are talking about they transporting dash, क्या चीज़ उन्होंने transport करी थी, and they stopped at the island to collect food and water. Right? 1638, the Dutch established a dash on the island. Dutch ने क्या establish करा था island के ऊपर? Okay. They killed the dodo birds for their meat, and the last one was killed in 1681. So we have to find the answers, that what they transported and what they established. That is 31 and 32. I am going to play the audio for the sound check. Do let me know whether it is audible or not. Yes Sahil, we have online classes for all the modules. Even you can go for single module. अगर आप सिर्फ reading करना चाहते हो या only writing, only speaking, you can even select that also. आप एक module भी कर सकते हो, चारों के चार भी कर सकते हो. For that you need to contact on the number which is visible on the screen, even for the fee structure also. Okay, so let's start with the class. I'm going to play the audio. Do let me know whether it is audible or not.
Part 4. You will hear part of an environmental science lecture about a large bird called the dodo, which is now extinct. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
I hope it is audible to everyone. If still it is not audible, do let me know. Otherwise, we'll start with the audio. Okay, I have only one response from one student. I believe it is audible to everyone. Okay. Okay, let's start playing the audio and listen carefully and write your answers in the chat box. Sahil, I'm saying if you want to know about the fee structure, you need to contact on the number on the screen which is visible to you. I have said this quite long time that you need to contact on the number for the fee structure as well. I hope it is visible to you on the screen. Now please be concentrative and write your answers in the chat box for 31 and 32. Listen carefully.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
One of the most famous cases of extinction is that of a bird known as the dodo. In fact, there's even a saying in English, as dead as the dodo, used to refer to something which no longer exists. But for many centuries, the dodo was alive and well, although it could only be found in one place, the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. It was a very large bird, about 1 meter tall, and over the centuries it had lost the ability to fly, but it survived happily under the trees that covered the island. Then, in the year 1507, the first Portuguese ships stopped at the island. The sailors were carrying spices back to Europe and found the island a convenient stopping place where they could stock up with food and water for the rest of the voyage, but they didn't settle on Mauritius. However, in 1638, the Dutch arrived and set up a colony there. These first human inhabitants of the island found the dodo birds a convenient source of meat, although not everyone liked the taste. It's hard to get an accurate description of what the dodo actually looked like.
Okay, I hope it is clear. So first they were carrying spices, right? Europe वापस लेके जाना था. They stopped at the island to collect food and water. So if you're writing spice, that is also correct. If you're writing spices, that is also correct. And the next one is the Dutch set up. Establish की जगह उसने synonym use करा था set up. So they set up a colony on the island, right? So the answers are spices and colony. I hope it is clear to everyone. If still there is in doubt, I can repeat the audio. Okay, if you guys have any doubt in this 31 and 32, you can write in the chat box. Ansh, you need to check your spelling. These are not species, these are spices, masale जिसे हम बोलते हैं. Not species, these are spices, S-P-I-C-E-S. If you're writing wrong spellings, definitely you won't score for that. That will be marked as wrong answer. Okay, let's move to the next
Part 4.
So we have next 33 until 38. Let's read these questions quickly. They're talking about the description. The only record we have is written descriptions and pictures possibly which are unreliable. A Dutch painting suggests the dodo was very. तो एक Dutch painting है जो ये बताती है कि dodo क्या था. Was very dash. The only remaining soft tissue is a dried. जो सिर्फ उसका एक ही टिश्यू रह गया था वो क्या एक सूखा. What tissue they are talking about. The recent studies of a dodo skeleton suggest the birds were capable of rapid dash. What they were capable. Rapid means fast. क्या चीज उनके अंदर fast होती है. It's thought they were able to use their small wings to maintain. ये माना जाता है कि उनके जो छोटे wings हैं वो किस चीज को maintain करने के लिए use करे जाते हैं. So you need to listen for that. What they are using to maintain. Wings क्यों use करते हैं? To maintain dash. Their dash उनका क्या चीज है जो average size का है. As was of average size. Their sense of dash enable them to find food. What they have sense, कौन सा ऐसा sense है उनके पास which enable them to find food. So these are the keywords which I have highlighted. Okay, so I'm going to play the audio. Listen carefully and write your answers in the chat box from 33 until 38.
Actually looked like. We do have some written records from sailors and a few pictures, but we don't know how reliable these are. The best known picture is a Dutch painting in which the bird appears to be extremely fat, but this may not be accurate. An Indian painting done at the same time shows a much thinner bird. Although attempts were made to preserve the bodies of some of the birds, no complete specimen survives. In the early 17th century, 4 dried parts of a bird were known to exist. Of these, 3 have disappeared, so only one example of soft tissue from the dodo survives, a dodo head. Bones have also been found, but there's only one complete skeleton in existence. This single dodo skeleton has recently been the subject of scientific research, which suggests that many of the earlier beliefs about dodos may have been incorrect. For example, early accounts of the birds mention how slow and clumsy it was. But scientists now believe the bird's strong knee joints would have made it capable of movement, which was not slow, but actually quite fast. In fact, one 17th century sailor wrote that he found the birds hard to catch. It's true that the dodo's small wings wouldn't have allowed it to leave the ground, but the scientists suggest that these were probably employed for balance while going over uneven ground. Another group of scientists carried out analysis of the dodo's skull. They found that the reports of the lack of intelligence of the dodo were not borne out by their research, which suggested the bird's brain was not small, but average in size. In fact, in relation to its body size, it was similar to that of the pigeon, which is known to be a highly intelligent bird. The researchers also found that the structure of the bird's skull suggested that one sense which was particularly well developed was that of smell. So the dodo may also have been particularly good at locating ripe fruit and other food in the island's thick vegetation.
Okay. So I'm going to write down the answers. So a Dutch painting suggests the dodo was very fat. Okay. The only remaining soft tissue is the dried head. So they clearly mentioned this thing. And after that, recent studies of dodo skeleton suggest the birds were capable of rapid movement. Chalne filna. Movement means chalna filna. It's thought they were able to use their small wings को क्यों use करते थे? To maintain balance. So write the correct spellings. If you're writing wrong spellings, it will be marked as incorrect. Their dash was of average size. Their brain was of average size. दिमाग की बात कर रहे हैं. Their sense of smell, उनके पास एक sense of smell थी which enabled them to find food. So these are the answers. It's not fat, Preet, it is fat. F-A-T, fat. Okay. So you can check your answers. If you feel any difficulty, you can write in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll move to the next 2 questions. It's not fact, it is fat, Falgu. It is not fact. Do let me know if I need to repeat the audio again. all correct. That's great. Well done. Well done, Sumandeep, Sameer, Pallavi, Pandey, right. Okay guys, if you have any doubt, please quickly write it down in the chat box. Okay, I'm getting no and no as answers. No. Okay, we need to move. Okay, fine. The first one is incorrect. Okay, I can play for the first one if you want.
Records from sailors and a few pictures, but we don't know how reliable these are. The best known picture is a Dutch painting in which the bird appears to be extremely fat, but this may not be accurate.
Extremely fat, matlab extremely means very, mota. Okay, so that's not the real, but they have in Dutch painting it was extremely fat. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so let's move to the next 39 and 40 questions, last questions. Reasons for extinction. Hunting is the first reason, which was probably not the main cause. And sailors brought dogs and monkeys. Okay, that's maybe the reason. Another reason we need to find it out. That also escaped onto the island and ate the bird's egg. ये भी आ जाते थे islands पे और उनके अंडे खा जाते थे. The arrival of farming meant the dash. Farming की वजह से क्या हो गया? Which was destroyed. Dash was destroyed. क्या चीज़ destroyed हो गई थी? Meant the dash was destroyed. So listen carefully for 39 and 40 and write your answers in the chat box.
Less than 200 years after Europeans first arrived on the island, they had become extinct. So what was the reason for this? For a long time it was believed that the dodos were hunted to extinction. But scientists now believe the situation was more complicated than this. Another factor may have been the new species brought to the island by the sailors. These included dogs, which would have been a threat to the dodos, and also monkeys, which ate the fruit that was the main part of the dodos' diet. These were brought to the island deliberately. But the ships also brought another type of creature, rats, which came to land from the ships and rapidly overran the island. These upset the ecology of the island, not just the dodos, but other species too. However, they were a particular danger to the dodos because they consumed their eggs. And since each dodo only laid one at a time, this probably had a devastating effect on populations. However, we now think that probably the main cause of the bird's extinction was not the introduction of non-native species, but the introduction of agriculture. This meant that the forest that had once covered all the island and that had provided a perfect home for the dodo was cut down so that crops such as sugar could be grown. So, although the dodo had survived for thousands of years, suddenly it was gone.
Okay, I'm going to write down the answers. For that we have rats. Okay, RATS, rats. Rats escaped onto the island and ate the birds. Ate की जगह उन्होंने word use करा था consumed. The arrival of farming meant the forest was destroyed. So that was the major extinction for dodo birds. Okay. If in case you have any problem, you can write in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll move to the next questions. So as you can see, these are not that difficult. So you can easily score 10 on 10 from these questions as well, right? So if you have any problem, you can write in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll move to the next one. We are BTS. We cannot upload these videos. These are not recorded sessions. These are only live streaming sessions. लेकिन आप इसे बाद में अगर देखना चाहते हो, you need to like the video. Okay, so there is a like button below it. If you will like the video, it will be added to your liked videos and you can view it whenever you want. That's great. All the best for your future. That's such a nice score, 9 bands. No, it is not necessary, Anila, to write down in block letter, but if yes, if your handwriting is poor, you can actually write in block letters. Otherwise, if you're writing in running, that is also correct, but it must be clearly understandable. These are not 2 words blank, this is 1 word blank only. Excade means they run over. गेमर बॉय डिपेंड्स अपॉन योर लेवल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ठीक है, अगर आपको कुछ चीज़ डिफिकल्ट लगती है तो इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट ओनली. इफ इट इज़ ईजी तो भी आपको डिफिकल्ट लगेगी. सो इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट योर प्रेपरेशन एंड योर कॉन्फिडेंस. नंबर्स क्या, नंबर्स तो नंबर्स लिखोगे. इफ दे आर सेइंग 1 word and a number, you can write number. If it is written 2 words and or a number, and means you can write a number also a word. If they have written 1 word or a number, then you cannot write a number with a word. I hope it is clear. I don't know anything about PTE, so I'm really very sorry for that. So let's move to the next question. No, it may be there, Nitin. If they're writing 3 words, it means one of the answers will be 3 words. So yes, that may be possible. Yes, of course, we have daily live sessions at 12 noon and one at 7 p.m. in the evening, but that is from Monday to Friday only. Weekends off. Okay, let's move
Less
to the
than
next
2.
questions. So this time you are going to solve. Again, I'm taking questions of part 4 from Cambridge Books Listening. Again, these are complete the notes, right? Complete 1 word only. I'm going to highlight the keywords and then I'll play the audio. Okay, so stoicism is still relevant today because of its dash appeal. क्या चीज़ है वो आज भी relevant है because of its dash appeal. कैसी appeal है उसकी, ऐसे है मतलब what pattern it is. Ancient Stoics के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Stoicism was founded in over 2000 years ago in Greece. जब वो 2000 years बोलेंगे, be attentive. The Stoics ideas are surprisingly well known. उनके ideas well known होते हैं, जाने जाते हैं, despite not being intended, but they are not intended. क्या चीज़ के लिए वो नहीं होते? So you have to listen. Not being intended for dash. Stoic principles. Happiness could be achieved by leading a virtuous life. Controlling emotions was essential. Epictetus said, this is the name of a person, that external events cannot be controlled. कहता है external events हम control नहीं कर सकते, पर कोई चीज़ है जो हम control कर सकते हैं. But the dash, so we need to listen what people make in response can be controlled. Okay. A Stoic is someone who has a different view on experiences which others could consider as a dash. Okay, which others, क्या दूसरे क्या सोच सकते हैं. So listen carefully from 31 to 34 and write your answers in the chat box.
1 to 40.
Ancient philosophy is not just about talking or lecturing or even reading long, dense books. In fact, it is something people have used throughout history to solve their problems and to achieve their greatest triumphs. Specifically, I am referring to Stoicism, which in my opinion is the most practical of all philosophies and therefore the most appealing. Stoicism was founded in ancient Greece by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC, but was practiced by the likes of Epictetus, Cato, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. Amazingly, we still have access to these ideas, despite the fact that the most famous Stoics never wrote anything down for publication. Cato definitely didn't. Marcus Aurelius never intended his meditations to be anything but personal. Seneca's letters were, well, letters, and Epictetus's thoughts come to us by way of a note-taking student. Stoic principles were based on the idea that its followers could have an unshakable happiness in this life, and the key to achieving this was virtue. The road to virtue, in turn, lay in understanding that destructive emotions like anger and jealousy are under our conscious control. They don't have to control us, because we can learn to control them. In the words of Epictetus, external events I cannot control, but the choices I make with regard to them I do control. The modern-day philosopher and writer Nassim Nicholas Taleb defines a Stoic as someone who has a different perspective on experiences which most of us would see as wholly negative. A Stoic transforms...
Okay, I'm going to write down the answers. It is not triumph, okay, it is not philosophies. Stoicism is still relevant today because of its practical appeal. वो practical दिखता है इसलिए क्योंकि वो practically होता है, then it's not theoretically. Ancient Stoicism was founded over 2000 years ago in Greece. The Stoics ideas are surprisingly well known despite वो किस चीज़ के लिए नहीं use करते थे? For publication. So the answer is publication. उसे publicize नहीं करते थे, ठीक है? Stoic principles, happiness could be achieved by virtuous life and controlling emotions was essential. So external events वो कहता था नहीं control कर सकते, लेकिन they can control the choices people make in response to be can be controlled. So choice is the answer. और उनका एक different view होता है जो दूसरे क्या समझते हैं? Negative. So the answer is negative. So these are the answers from 31 to 34. If you have any doubt, you can write in the... You cannot, Mayank Joshi, you cannot wholly negative because it is one word only. अगर आपने वहाँ पे wholly negative लिख दिया, तो it will be marked as wrong answer. Okay, so it's very important to read the instructions carefully. Okay, if there is any doubt, you can write in the chat box. Otherwise, I'll play the next part of this audio. That is 35 to 40. Yes, if you guys have any doubt, you can write in the chat box. 32:1, it is publication.
For the most appealing. Stoicism was founded appealing. Typically, I am referring to Stoicism, which in my opinion is the most practical of all philosophies and therefore the most appealing.
Practical and therefore most appealing. So it is practical appeal. Okay.
Stoicism was founded in ancient Greece by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC, but was practiced by the likes of Epictetus, Cato, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. Amazingly, we still have access to these ideas, despite the fact that the most famous Stoics never wrote anything down for publication. Cato
wrote anything. The fact that they do not write, despite means the fact that they do not write anything for publication. So the answer is publication. Okay. Anshul, I have already explained that we have live sessions at 12 noon and at 7 p.m. from Monday until Friday. I hope it is clear to you. We have live classes one at 12 noon, and one at 7 p.m. in the evening from Monday until Friday, means daily, weekends को छोड़ के. Okay. Okay, what about others? If you have any doubt, I've cleared 31 and 32. He's talking about the BC. Okay, Sunny, they are talking about the BC, British time, 2000 years ago. Okay. Okay, I'm going to play the audio for the next one, 35 until 40. Let's highlight the keywords quickly. The influence of Stoicism. George Washington organized. When he'll be talking about George Washington, you need to be very attentive. He organized the dash. क्या उस चीज ने organize करा था? About Cato to motivate his men. The French artist Delacroix was a Stoic. Adam Smith's ideas on dash. Adam Smith के ideas किसके ऊपर थे? Which were influenced by Stoicism. Some of today's political leaders are inspired by the Stoics. Okay, then they're talking about cognitive behavior theory, that is CBT. जब वो CBT की बात करेंगे, be attentive because you have to listen for the 37. The treatment for dash, किस चीज़ की treatment की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? It means there is some problem, medical problem, you need to listen for that, which is based on ideas from Stoicism. People learn to base their thinking on dash. People learn करते हैं अपनी thinking को किसके ऊपर base करने की. In business, people benefit from Stoicism and by identify obstacles as dash. Obstacles वो कैसे, obstacles means होता है रुकावटें को कैसे लेते हैं. Next, the last one is relevance of Stoicism. It requires a lot of, क्या चीज़ आपको बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए होती है, but Stoicism can help people to lead a good life. And the last, it teaches people that having a strong character is more important than anything else. I'm going to play the audio from 35 to 40. Listen carefully and write your answers in the chat box.
The founding fathers of the United States were inspired by the philosophy. George Washington was introduced to Stoicism by his neighbours at age 17, and later put on a play based on the life of Cato to inspire his men. Thomas Jefferson kept a copy of Seneca beside his bed. Writers and artists have also been inspired by the Stoics. Eugene Delacroix, the renowned French romantic artist, known best for his painting Liberty Leading the People, was an ardent Stoic, referring to it as his consoling religion. The economist Adam Smith's theories on capitalism were significantly influenced by the Stoicism that he studied as a schoolboy under a teacher who had translated Marcus Aurelius's works. Today's political leaders are no different, with many finding their inspiration from the ancient texts. Former US President Bill Clinton rereads Marcus Aurelius every single year, and many have compared former President Obama's calm leadership style to that of Cato. Wen Jiabao, the former Prime Minister of China, claims that Meditations is one of 2 books he travels with, and that he has read it more than 100 times over the course of his life. Stoicism had a profound influence on Albert Ellis, who invented cognitive behavior therapy, which is used to help people manage their problems by changing the way that they think and behave. It's most commonly used to treat depression. The idea is that we can take control of our lives by challenging the irrational beliefs that create our faulty thinking, symptoms, and behaviors by using logic instead. Stoicism has also become popular in the world of business. Stoic principles can build the resilience and state of mind required to overcome setbacks, because Stoics teach turning obstacles into opportunity, a lesson every business entrepreneur needs to learn. I would argue that studying Stoicism is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago, thanks to its brilliant insights into how to lead a good life. At the very root of the thinking, there is a very simple way of living. Control what you can and accept what you can't. This is not as easy as it sounds and will require considerable practice. it can take a lifetime to master. The Stoics also believed the most important foundation for a good and happy life is not money, fame, power, or pleasure, but having a disciplined and principled character, something which seems to resonate with many people today.
Okay, I'm going to write down the answers. For 35, he organized a play about Cato to motivate his men. Adam Smith's idea was on capitalism, C-A capital, we need to write capital, then lism, L-I-S-M. Write the correct spellings. And cognitive behavior theory, the treatment for depression. These are the correct spellings because most of the students were writing D-E, depression. It's depression. These are the correct spellings. People learn to base their thinking on ideas. Logic. Ideas nahi. Logic आएगा. In business, people benefit from stoicism by identifying obstacles into opportunity. अपनी रुकावटों को वो एक मौका बना लेते हैं. Opportunity. It requires a lot of की जगह उन्होंने word use करा था considerable practice. बहुत practice की ज़रूरत होती है stoicism को पाना. Stoicism मतलब होता है कि किसी चीज़ से आपको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. Whether something is going good or bad, आप ऐसी practice कर लेते हैं. So these are the answers. If you have any doubt, you can write in the chat box. Okay, that's great. Very good, Devinder. You can rewind the video and watch it again for any. If you want to listen it again, you can rewind the video, right? So for audio, you can write, if you want to go for the audio of this, for the first one, you need to type dodo bird listening audio, and for the second one, you need to type stoicism listening audio on. If you're going to type on Google or YouTube, you can get your audio easily and you can practice it again, right? Dhanraj, you need to rewind the video and watch it again. You need to rewind it, okay? It is opportunity only, Anila. It is not opportunities. Listen again. Rewind कर लीजिए. एक बार पीछे जा सकते हो. You can rewind the video and watch it again and listen it again. To get free study material, you can join us on Telegram. It is IELTS capital _ M capital AD small _ E capital ASY small. I'll be sharing this file. You can download the PDF and do it as a homework again. So thank you so much for joining today's session. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time with another listening questions, because most of the students were saying multiple choice questions. So I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, that is 12 noon, with listening multiple choice questions. Okay, till then keep practicing, and if there is any doubt, still you are not able to solve your problems and you are facing a lot of difficulties, you are appearing for your test again and again without any effort or without any practice, go for the paid online classes. We have personal classes. These are online. Simply अपना phone उठाइए, WhatsApp on the number which is visible on the screen for any query related to fee, your modules. Okay, because in these sessions we provide individual focus and writing speaking evaluations on daily basis. आपके task आपके सामने check होंगे and you will get to know about your mistakes, reading, listening, doubts, and assured results. So believe me, once you'll join our personal classes, you can achieve your desired band scores in just single attempt. Okay, so you can join our paid online classes for further if you're facing any difficulties. So I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Till then, keep practicing. Bye bye, take care, God bless you all, and thank you once again for joining today's session. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, take care.